Welcome to the Winning Edge Investments Podcast. Winning Edge Investments provides industry-leading horse racing and sports betting tips, ratings and education, enabling you to invest intelligently and treat your betting like a business. Go to www.winningedgeinvestments.com to learn more about how you can start to supercharge your betting bank immediately. Treat your betting like a business and invest intelligently with Winning Edge Investments.
Live across the SEN track and RSN networks, and broadcasting live on racing.com. This is Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Thanks to winningedgeinvestments.com, tips, ratings and betting education for racing and sports. Dean Evans, the great Dean Evans, joins us. G'day, Dino. Welcome back to Giddy Up.
Good morning, Gareth. Thank you very much. Great to be back on and looking forward to covering some major races over what's shaping up to be a really brilliant autumn carnivals.
Now, you own Vauban. Surely he finishes top four on Saturday.
I think so. That looked like quite a generous offer from Bet365.
Yes.
I think Vauban run top four. I quite like Panova in that race too. Chris Waller's record with 3-year-old fillies in that race, I think he's won it 8 times from the last 10 years with the 3-year-old fillies. So I suspect Panova, and she's a very good filly, I think she'll run well too. So, Vauban has worked really well. Gay actually sort of came to the owners and really waxed lyrical about how well he worked earlier in this week on a wet track. And for me, for this campaign, which is likely to go through to Brisbane as well, I'm really keen to just see the horse on a wet track. I think he's sort of at that age and the way he's sort of been running where if any of these major staying races we can get a soft 6 or worse track, I think that's where his staying paralysis is going to come to the fore and where I think he can be a real big winning chance. I wish it was a bit wetter on Saturday, but he's still won a stronger edition of this race last year. So he looks like a really good chance again today.
It'll be tomorrow. A softish track tomorrow anyway, won't it?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking like a soft 5 or something like that. So there'll be a bit of give out of it, which definitely helps. But I just have a feeling with this horse now that if we could get a real wet track in one of these staying races, a bit like he had in the Tancred where he probably should have won with a bit of luck, then I think he can still win a big one.
The Magic Night Stakes, the Pago Pago Stakes and the Sky High Stakes will be the races that we'll have a look at today, and then the Kembla Grange Classic today as well we'll have a look at, which is on today, and then those races I've talked about, the Magic Night, the Pago Pago and the Sky High, of course, are at Rosehill tomorrow. We'll start off with the Magic Night Stakes. Pembury at 220, by choice 460 with Bet365. Hellenic Bell at 750 on debut, and Kieran Starr at $8. How do you read this year's race, the Magic Night?
Well, look, the leader, or the horse sitting outside the leader's won 8 of the last 14 editions, so you usually want to be up there on the speed. By choice and Pembury, look, the two will dictate terms. Pembury's a horse we've followed through trial spy from the start. At 11 won a Deegan trial by 4.5 lengths plus 3, quickest of those 3 trials, and 11 won a Dubin 847 metre trial by 4 lengths plus 6.2 above standard, and was the second quickest of 16 trials on the day. Was untouched on both of those trials, led all the way to win for us on debut at Eagle Farm by 6 lengths again, pretty much untouched, and ran 5.4 lengths above standard. Really, really good high quality filly. And at Randwick, I mean, James McDonald's one of the best riders I've ever seen, but that may have been the worst rider I've ever seen from him. It was nonsensical to take a sit.
Yeah.
The horse jumped well. It was a slow speed race in the three embrace. I still can't fathom how or why he would take a sit, but I don't think he's going to be doing that in this race here. This horse, a lot of quality, a lot of speed. She's run really high quality times in both her trials and her debut win. And I think, she was just a good thing beat in a sweet embrace when held up and never really got clear running until it was too late. And she's just a type of horse that's fast and should be let to run fast. And I think she can blow these away and get herself into the slipper.
Yeah, so that's a good push for the Tony Golan filly in Pembury, who, as I said just before there, with Bet365 is 220. The other 2-year-old race is the Pago Pago. Now, Central Europe's at 220, Woolwoven 270, Plagiarism 8, Star of Jamaica at 13, Europedes $21. How do you read this year's Pago Pago?
Yeah, again, the leaders won 3 of the last 4 editions of this race, and the top 4 in running have won 12 of the last 13. I've got Central Europe mapping 10th right up the back. No back markers won this race from 34 runners. He's also only had 1 career start, Central Europe, and there's only been 2 winners of this race from 47 runners with a 57% loss on turnover for horses coming to this race off 1 start. So I'm quite against Central Europe. I think he's a lay. I know he was unlucky on his debut run, but you could throw a towel over the first few in running. And I think Woolwoven's really quality colt. He was sort of Magic Millions favourite before he got scratched. He was really dominant in his 2 wins and ran sort of plus 4.3 and plus 4.4 against standard in those 2 wins before his break. Obviously had that first up run in the Skyline, beaten sort of half a length. He'll be a lot fitter for that. And that's interesting. The 2 on speed are the Star of Jamaica and Plagiarism, and I'm actually more concerned about them than I am about Central Europe. Okay. We've then sort of got Euripides and Forest King 3rd and 4th, and then Woolwoven. That's naturally 3 wide, no cover, which is the only concern. But I suspect with the Euripides there in the 1-1, also being a Bjorn Baker horse, that he's either going to push forward or go back and let Woolwoven in, I'd have to say. And so I can see Woolwoven getting a nice 1-1, hopefully. Maybe Euripides just follows him on his back. And if that's the case, I can see Woolwoven just sprinting past these and showing his quality. But, if there's a danger, I think sort of when you've got Star of Jamaica at $15 and Plagiarism at $8.50 and 12 of the last 13 winners in the top 4 and running, I think they're the dangers, and I think the race is in the top 3, and I'm happy to sort of lay Central Europe based on how the race profiles.
Central Europe won't be able to get on Woolwoven's back?
Well, the risk is just that he's drawn 8, so his natural position is further back. You've got Persian Wonder and High Alert there, and there's just the risk that he gets caught and stuck out wide on a limb.
Yeah.
And even if he is on Woolwoven's back, Woolwoven can still out sprint him.
Yeah. So what price would you have Central Europe then?
Probably more like $3.50 the way the race profiles. $2.20 is way too short.
That's not good news for us because we're chips in Central Europe. That's why we love you, Dino. We might have to back Woolwoven. It's going to be a great race because from a 2-year-old pitcher point of view, what's your number 1 seed with the 2-year-old so far? Because everyone seems to be confused.
Look, I just think the Melbourne 2-year-olds are so far superior to the Sydney 2-year-olds. We backed closer to free at 200 to 1 and 100 to 1 for the Blue Diamond. I'm still not over it. But, I think that closer to free can come to Sydney and possibly bash their brains. And I think the Melbourne form just seems so superior to the Sydney form. And I don't particularly like a lot of the Sydney horses. I even think Pembrey, if she actually could put her best foot forward here, could sprint away from them and then be some chance too. But at the moment, I do think those Melbourne 2-year-olds and are high quality and closer to free is the one that I like.
What about Streisand then?
Yeah, no knock on Streisand. Beat closer to free fair and square in the Blue Diamond. But closer to free has a lot more improvement, having only had 2 career starts.
Yeah.
Whereas Streisand was sort of really fully fit and wound up for that race. So I just think closer to free is the one with the upside.
Who's a better chance, Woolwoven or Paradoxium?
I think they're similar.
Yeah.
I think they're similar, yeah.
It's going to be
Central Europe's a very, very good horse, don't get me wrong. He's high quality. If he got into a slipper, he could win it because he's got the quality. I just think this race doesn't quite profile right.
No.
There's a slipper, a lot of speed, and he'll be charging home, and then it'll be a size horse, a champagne horse. He's going to be a very good horse, Central Europe. He's just not profiling right for this particular race for me.
Yeah, he's going to need some luck from back there. There's no doubt about that. But, he should have won on debut. Then they wouldn't have had this problem with Central Europe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They were very stiff not to just already be in the slipper.
Yeah. Wood and Verney's the favourite in the Sky High Stakes at $2.30. Soul of Spain, $3.60. Your Horse Vauban at $4. Just Fine at $8. And Valiant King at $15. Two stables doing battle here. How do you read the race, Dino?
Yeah, look, there's not much speed. Just Fine will push forward and kick ahead. You got River of Stars, he likes to be forward too. And then, probably your main chances, Wood and Verney, Soul of Spain and Vauban will be in that next bunch. I hope they rode Vauban, a bit colder. He won this race first up last prep, when he sort of sat fourth and fifth and got a bit further back than probably expected. But, he overran Arapaho, who flew that prep, replaced in the Tancred and bolted in the Sydney Cup, and Lindermann, who, as we know, just won plenty of sort of Group 2, Group 3 major races last prep and was a really good sort of 2,000 metre horse, and then ran second to Via Sistina in the Group 1 round at the next start. So I think the form of last year's Sky High is stronger than this year's. The reports of Vauban going really, really well. I hope to see him sort of come back and do what we know he can do. He ran a really good third in the Chelmsford fresh up in the spring too, so he's showing he's a very good horse fresh. And I like to think that he can stride past these and put himself in the frame as a good Tancred Stakes chance. Yeah. And I'm just really hoping that we can get a wet track for him in one of these major races and give him a chance to win a big one.
I know Dubai Honour's in town, but it's a winnable Tancred. I don't know how many horses will be going in that 2,400 metre feature. So, we wish you the best of luck with Vauban there tomorrow, mates. Should we take the $4?
I think he's a good chance. I think he's a strong chance. Wood and Verney and Soul of Spain are the obvious dangers, but I think if we see the real Vauban and he's ridden well with cover and given one shot to just run past them, then he's got the quality to do it.
And the Kemler Grange Classic today, Spicy Lou, the Canberra Galloper at $3.50, Isle 2 at $6, Profoundly at $8, Long Legs at $8.50, Samaral at $10. How do you read this year's race?
Yeah, Spicy Lou profiles really well here. Yeah. She won the listed Fernhill handicap over a mile as a 2-year-old. She won the Group 3 Ethereal over 2,000 as a 3-year-old. She was fourth to She Is Her Alibi at Group 2 level first up. She was one on the wet. She maps on the speed. Nick Olives only had one runner in this race previously that won at $6, and that was Single Gaze, who then won the White Vinery and ran second in a Caulfield Cup. Spicy Lou ran in the Oaks 2 starts back, and there's been 8 horses run the Oaks for 3, and then have another run and then come into this Kemble Keith Nolan Classic, and it's produced 3 winners from 8 runners at 158% POT, so it's a good profile. She's got a handicap rating that's produced 4 winners from 7 runners at 140% POT in this race. She tops a few ratings parameters that have sort of won at 40% strike rate and between 40 and 100% POT. She just has all these ratings figures that really stand out in this race. Both her and Long Legs have a ratings figure that's produced 9 of the 10 winners at 50% POT of this race, and they topped the career prize money, which is also produced 8 winners from 34 at 68%. So just in all the sort of ratings profiling and historical profiling of this race, Spicy Lou tops everything, and horses that do that have an extremely good betting record in this race. And the other one is Long Legs, who's sort of second on most of those ratings and has all the similar figures as well. And so I'm quite keen on Spicy Lou here and Long Legs, and what's only an average tempo. I think Long Legs leads and Spicy Lou sits second and hopefully on its back. And I think it's going to be very hard for anything else to run past.
Dino, without giving too much away with your Winning Edge Investments team, any futures plays for us? Just one? I know that we've missed out on Closer to Free there after getting a big prize for the slipper after just missing out in a Blue Diamond. But anything for us battlers?
I'm trying to think whether we even have a futures bet live at the moment.
Who would you? All right, I'll ask you a different question. Who would you play in a Doncaster between the 2 superstars at the moment? She's Alibi, or of course Autumn Glow. If it eventually.
Well, yeah, I mean it's interesting. they're two horses I identified from very early. Autumn Glory, before its first start, I wrote to members and said, this is a Group 1 filly. She's unbelievable. She did things in trials that were incredible, and she was always going to be a star. And She's Alibi is also a horse that we have backed, throughout its career in trials by, having identified it from some Townsville maiden trials early on. So I'm a big fan of both horses. I think I can't bet against Autumn Glow in any race.
Yeah.
She's just so good. She's got such high quality. I think she's going to be one of those horses that obviously Waller has that ability to maintain these long winning streaks of horses like Winks and others, and they're going to want to protect her record at all costs. And it's a big weight difference, 7.5 kgs, but Autumn Glow is just such high quality that I couldn't bet against her.
All right, mate. SEN promo. If you've got the promo code is SEN, is that right? And you get a 30% ongoing discount, lifetime discount, basically.
Yep, can use that for any service, your first service. We've got plenty of different ratings and racing services, tips and rating services across different states and different methods with different analysts that you can choose from. An AFL service that's doing unbelievably well, and a Greyhound service that's doing incredibly well too. Our services are in really, really great form, and so a wonderful opportunity to welcome any new SEN listeners who want to join over the Autumn Carnival and beyond.
Beautiful, mate. We wish you the best of luck with Vauban, especially tomorrow, and hopefully we can find you a few winners as well with your analysis. Let's hope you're wrong with the Pago Pago.
No worries. We shall see. I'll speak to you again next week.
Good on you, Dino. Great man. Dean Evans there. WinningEdgeInvestments.com. Tips, ratings and betting education for racing and sports.
At Winning Edge Investments, our team of highly skilled expert analysts and full-time professional punters review the data, crunch the figures, assess the best betting opportunities, and deliver them to your phone via our app and your email inbox in real time so you profit. Go to www.winningedgeinvestments.com. Look at our membership options, make your choice, and enter the promo code PODCAST to receive a special 25% discount on your first membership just for listening. That's PODCAST in capital letters for a 25% ongoing discount on your first membership. Treat your betting like a business and invest intelligently with Winning Edge Investments.